Hello? Yeah, I'm now updating stream info because I decided to do something a little bit different. I was thinking about a little refactoring, not tutorial, but refactoring session, but then I realized that I don't really want to refactor that one piece of code that I thought that I would like to. Therefore, today we'll be doing a little bit different thing. We're gonna check RxJS, which is something that I've been thinking about for quite some time, and now I can do that. So yeah, okay. For those who don't know, I have Rx documentation on my other monitor that I can show you right now. This is pretty. The idea here is pretty simple. Oh, it's just like this. Yes. Normally, when I want to listen to click on the page, I add listener to the document. And then when I click, I will see the console log of that. That's basically it. Here, I create a stream, or this very specific case, observable. I subscribe to that. And every time there is a click, everything that's subscribed to that click, to that event, basically, will receive information. There will be, in this specific case, console log visible. So that's basically it. I mean, the base idea is just like with events. I should change. Oh, cognito one. This is the base idea is basically it's basically the same. This is basically the same idea. You are reacting to some things that are happening on the page. That's yeah. I would say like that. In this specific case, you subscribe to events that happen on the page. I should put it that way. So yeah, today I'm using a sandbox. Oh yeah, there will be coughing because there is always coughing on those streams, especially now since it's autumn in Europe. It's just inevitable. So let's just try this. Oh yeah, I'm using code sandbox because I tried to prepare some local environment and had troubles with that, so I decided to just go here because I didn't want to check why Python version X is not on my machine or why path is not working, etc. Okay, we have in this project Rx, we have TypeScript. Dev dependencies are not really important here, so let's omit that. Let's just go this. Can I make this a little bit bigger? I'm not sure if I can. It might not be actually, which would be a bummer, considering that I want you to see what is happening. No. Section edit file. Maybe font. Oh yes. I mean, I would be terrified if there is no. Oh, okay. That might be a little bit too much, but let's go with that. Okay. So this is like the most basic example that you can see in the RxJS documentation. So now, if I click on the page anywhere, I see a clicked event. Okay, the problem is that I see it 5 times, so there is a chance that Code Sandbox didn't remove the previous ones. Let's reload the page. Yeah, it might take a moment. Okay, the code is the same. Click. Okay, now it's one click. Okay. Oh yeah. Because the problem here is that every time you reload the page, Code Sandbox is basically reloading the is reloading the page also, but is leaving the previous previous data, which is easy to spot when you open the console here, because the console is not cleared between sessions. You can see like the whole history of every iteration of the product, which is fine, I would say, but not entirely in this situation. But okay, let's then fix it a little bit. So I have subscribe. Can I unsubscribe at the same time? Can I just do it? Oh yeah, but because that's the thing. Can I even do it? Let's see. This is like the first thing that I want to do. I want to unsubscribe from event. From event path. Target name options result selector. Description. From target. Okay, example. From event. Click subscribe. Aha. Okay. So I think I have to. Okay, because I can't. I mean, I think I can change this. So subscribe and unsubscribe at the same time, but that would be. I don't know. I don't feel like that. So let's go with this example here. It should work the same, and now I should see two clicked. Okay. Now I want to unsubscribe. Can I do? Can I do just this? There's no explanation here. Okay. That might be some. Oh wait. Subscribe. Okay. Subscribe is subscribe is in every example. That's fine, but there's no example of unsubscribe, which worries me a little bit. It seems that unsubscribing is more of a, let's say, a global thing to do. But can I just do this? Okay, TypeScript is yelling at me, so I'm doing something wrong. It's not a function. Okay. Because, yeah, click subscribe, that works. Click unsubscribe doesn't work. So I guess that isn't really helping. This isn't really helpful. Okay, let's see here. Subscribe. Okay, unsubscription. Okay, that's another thing. that's small thing, but I think you should know about it. Subscription is in major entities, but then major actions is unsubscription. That's I know that the subscription is a noun, so it can be treated as such, but it is also a little bit misleading in this situation. Can causes financial. Oh yeah, and there is no. Oh yeah, there is no example like. That's the thing. This is the glossary. So as I understand, this is explaining what words mean. Okay, I'm fine with that. Sure, why not? But if we're gonna go with that, it would be really nice to have some, maybe not even example. This is not like something that I have to have here, but it would be really nice to have a link somewhere here. Are those links all about? Oh, okay. Here is this one. Okay, as you can see, there is different font here and here, so you can say that. Okay, this one is about about glossary, and this one is about. No, today I'm gonna use English. One time. This one time. Okay. I mean, I probably can switch to Polish later, but for now, today, I want to go once with English, considering that, I mean, English is like the major language. I mean, it's the basic language for programming. So you either know it or you will have some problems. What's the better way? What's the best way to learn other than listening and talking? Okay. Okay. So how do I unsubscribe from clicks? This is observable. Okay. Observable. Observable. Okay. Next error complete. Okay. Okay, so every observable have three stages. Okay, that's fine. Subscribe. Okay. Is there answer? Oh, okay, I see. So I should go with this, and that would be no. No, it's still not fine. Subscription, observable, subscribe. Ah, okay. Okay, that's okay. Okay. There will be still, yeah, there will be still clicks because the code sandbox is working that way, but let's go with this. Let's reload. If I understand correctly, hello, if I understand correctly, now there will be either one click event or none, because I immediately unsubscribed from the stream. So let's see. There is nothing here. Oh, yeah. Click. Yeah, now there is nothing because I immediately unsubscribed. Okay. If I remove this one, there is one event. That's fine. And if I back, there should still be one event. Yes, because this is the previous one from the let's say previous code sandbox reload. Okay. So I have events. I mean, I have streams. I can subscribe to them and I can unsubscribe. That's fine. Let's then do something about it. Let's get rid of all of this. I need. Okay, let's try it differently. I want to subscribe to a button. Here I subscribe to a document object, like all of it. Let's go then with a button. Okay. So if I understand correctly, I can go with this, pass this here. And now every time I'm gonna click a button, I'm gonna see some info. Oh yeah, this is still from the previous code sandbox version. That is fine. So now if I click some button, I should see two events. One from the previous code sandbox event and one from the button. And there is two. Okay. So basically I can subscribe to any part of the page and just listen to what's gonna happen there, like click and such. Okay, this is I would say a pretty standard thing. You can just use event listeners for that, so that's not really that interesting. What we can do with that is the question. Okay, so from my understanding, or from the understanding how the people, some people explained to me that streams, which is the basis for RxJS, can be anything. And by anything, they really mean anything. Like a string can be a stream, basically. So let's go with something like this. I want an input. And here is that, and go with, let's comment this out. I don't know the shortcuts for this piece of software. Okay. So this is the most basic thing that we can have here. That's fine. Now I can add that event listener for this input for a change to this input, if I understand correctly, which is like basically the same that I did just now, but let's go with that. Let's check that would work. Test input from event, let's say Kia. I'm now wondering if that would work. And let's say because I don't want to be forced to reload this page every time I change something, and I also don't want to see like 20 events just because I forget to unsubscribe. Okay, would that work? Will not. I mean, this, okay, this also should be this. Oops. Scrap, test input, key up. Okay. So in this way, it doesn't work. And I don't know if it would even work, if that's even on the table. Because I know we can subscribe to changes to the input, and that's all fine and good, but I wonder if you can. No, you can technically can. Input ID, that's fine. Test input, okay. Key up, okay. I'm missing something, it seems. From event. This is for Angular, that's fine, but this is the thing. This library is currently so tight with Angular, it's a little bit hard to find tutorials outside of that. It's like searching for tutorials for vanilla JS when you don't know this is the same. That's also basically the same. Okay. User input. Okay. Okay. Let's go for the documentation. I want to. The only thing I want to check is that can I subscribe to the key up event? Because as I understand, I can subscribe to this one. No. Oh, wait. Oh, I can. Okay, so I can do that, and that's fine. Okay. We extended our limit. That's fine. So change works. The event input that also, as you can see, works, and also we extended our limit. Now the question is, can I also have key up here? Because listen to a key up in a specific place, like input, sounds like something that. So it works, as you can see. Okay. Okay, so it seems that I can make a stream out of this. Now, another thing. Key. Okay. Okay. Which event? Event. Yeah, this is one of the reasons why I don't really trust modern tools, because sometimes they're gonna do stupid things like this one. Yeah, also this is not event, this is key import event. Oh, wait, no us. So now I should, oh, and here I should see full string. As that. Okay, so it works as it should. Now, here is other question. Because there is an idea, I mean, as I said, one of the tutorials stated that everything basically can be a stream. Yes, everything. So, okay, if everything can be a stream, can a number be a string? Or can, I mean, stream, or can string be a stream? Something like that. So let's find out. Okay. But okay, so now there is a question, because okay, this is from event. So it's okay, okay, I think I understand. I think I know. From event is about events. Okay, that's fine, that's understandable. For values, I think the thing I would need to use is observable. Or rather, I should observe the value, or rather subscribe to that value, and I will be notified every time there was some changes. Yes. Okay. So from. So it is from, let's say, empty. Oh yeah, look, that won't work that way. Yeah, I can observe this one. Can I observe? What can I change it at this point? Observable. Try subscribe. Oh yeah. I remember. Next. Yes. Yes or no? Next. Doesn't exist. Observable string. Okay. Get back. New observable. Oh, this is okay. Because observable is another thing. Okay. Okay, so from is yet another thing, and observable is yet another thing. Or rather, okay. So from put string observable. Okay. Okay. New observable. ID. Set interval. Next. So I have to create an observable that takes a string as an argument. Okay. And now I should do observable. No, that's also okay. Let's do what I should do at the very beginning and start with the tutorial. Get start. Because I'm a little bit confused, and that list of event managers also isn't helping. Like there's 6 different things here. If this is what you see at the beginning of your journey with a framework or library or something, that is, I don't want to say that is bad, although a lot of the times that might be bad, but it is a little bit confusing. But okay, it forces me to read. So okay, let's see. What do we have here? Uh, this was an example of listening to an event. Okay. From events. Okay. This is about. Okay. Pipe scan count. Okay, so this is the value inside. I mean, this is the state inside that from event. I want to just observe the variable. This is the same example. Pipe throttle count values. Okay, it's also with events, so it doesn't really help me. Okay, so I guess I would go back here. Okay, so facility push collection multiple values. Okay, that's fine. Okay, subscribe next to the subscriber completed. See the values, we need to subscribe to it. Okay. Okay. So I would have to, but this doesn't have next. No. So if I understand correctly, I change values inside it instead of outside it. Which is weird a little bit. Okay. Okay. Mm. Mm. Okay, because it seems to me that subscribe, or rather observable, it informs the subscribe. Okay. Okay, pops up. Okay. So that's fine. But so in order to have a value and change it, etc., I will have to observe that value. That's fine. But also, if I understand correctly, changes are going inside the value. And then I just send info outside that the value changed or something like that. That's also fine. Okay. But really, can I just subscribe to the changes in the value? That's what I want to do. Or whatever. That's also a good query. Let's see. And still again Angular, but what can you do? Okay. Set get no. This, behavior subject, I guess. Okay. But again, Angular. The fact that I had to add vanilla JS to this is a little bit. Oh yeah, and here we were using proxy, which is fine, but it's not what I wanted to see. This is the DOM tree, notation observer, so not really my cup of tea. Observer. Consumer of values delivered by an observable. Okay. That's not really interesting. I mean, okay, this is this delivers messages, this listens to messages. That's fine. What we have else? Subject. Subject subscribes. Oh, okay, okay. I maybe this is it. So const subject. Oh yeah, you have to. Okay. Now subject next, subject next. Okay. So subject next. It should now add only the latest string to the pile. No, wait, I'm missing something. Oh yeah, and I have to subscribe to that. Subject subscribe. No, wait. That doesn't make any sense. Okay. I create a subject. That subject gets a value at the very beginning. And that value should be the initial value, and then I can observe that value and also change it, I guess. Let me read it for a second really quick. Okay, new subject. Subject subscribe. So I have to, but I also, because I wanted to use subject subscribe at the very end and display the value of that subscription. But okay, but it seems that every time there is next, something is going to happen. So I can just create a variable, add a subject to it, or, I mean, use it for a subject or observables or anything, and then just show the end result at the very end. I have to do it. Oh, okay, I see. I think I have to do it entirely different way. Okay, that's fine. But let's go. Let's take it from the top. Is that the debugger? No. Okay. But the 0 is put with 1. Okay. So I guess this one. Okay. And let's say subject subscribe next e. Yeah, there is the lack of this character. Okay. And this. So let's remove this. Okay, so every time I put something here, oh, it doesn't work again. Let's go with change. Let's just go with change. Oh wait, it was working. It was just wrong. Oh my, there is so many. Yeah, I should probably next time go without Grammarly. Okay. Okay. So basically every time I change something, yeah. And that was the last one. Okay. So I want. Okay, I think I have a vague idea. So I have a subject, which is basically a variable. I can put something there and listen to changes to that one. So I can first listen to changes to the input and maybe subscribe to those changes. And based on those changes, I can also do some other stuff. But then I can also subscribe to a variable, basically pass the value from the input that I subscribed to the subject that will hold that value. And then when I can't type anymore, I can just display the end result. Okay. I mean, I can see how you can do it much easier, but I also can see how you can use it for something more, let's say, complex. Because, yeah, it sounds like, how should I say it? Mm, I can have basically a bunch of events and subjects and observables, etc., etc. I can subscribe to each other, to them. I mean, but in different places in the application, and then I can just act upon changes that will be emit basically. Okay, that actually makes sense, but I'm not really sure. I mean, this is another case of a tool that will make sense in much bigger application. Actually, I would say it would make sense in a much bigger application. But in something as little as this, okay, let's try something different. Let's try something that might actually show the value of this. Let's go with this is not good engineering. Please don't repeat. I just need a bunch of inputs. 2, 3. No, that's fine. Okay. Can I mass comment here? Probably not, because in a lot of IDs you can just use one. Oh, I can actually. Okay. Yeah, the structure here is a little bit. Do I want any CSS here? I don't really. But okay, the idea is pretty simple. I have 4 labels and I want to take those 4 labels and print the result. The result at the very beginning will be 0 because I will take a set of numbers and display result. So I don't need to use inner HTML, but let's go with that. Okay. Okay. So basically, every time I'm gonna change one of those inputs, I want to change the end result. Basically, I will have a sum of those 4 inputs, and I will display the end result here. So let's go with the first one. So all of this, I'm gonna use it. So let's go let's go here. Counter, let's remove this. So I'm doing value. Go with yeah, because I won't have this will be string. Okay, I see the problem already, but let's keep going. Results. I target. There was a property that will return a number to me, like immediately. And I don't remember. Oh yeah, it seems that it still. Yeah, it seems that it still keeps. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. Let's just reload. This is why I wanted to use my IDE locally, with the code sandbox. As you can see a little bit what should I say, not really clean. From event, test input, variable base of null. Yeah, because I'm still listening to the first one. Test input one. Okay. Test input. Now, if I remember correctly, let's comment out this for a moment. And there was result 0 for the beginning. Now, the end result is now string, I mean, that element. The thing is, again, key up. Let's go for. Now, I'm not sure what's the problem. I mean, I guess the problem is that. How should I say it? Let's again. Yeah, one of the reasons why you shouldn't use Code Sandbox for maybe probably for something more complicated, because you are stuck in a situation like this one, and I really don't want to try it locally. Okay. No, okay. Now I see the problem. I mean, the tool is not the most sharp here, but I am also not, as you can see. Okay. Okay. Now there is a property of the element target in this specific case. It was as number, value as number, yes. Okay. This is a little bit misleading, because I don't know if you know, but technically all the values in the inputs, that's interesting. All the values in the inputs are numbers, are strings. Because but that is true for input type text, but I also believe that is true for input type number. Or at least it was at some point. I would need to, I would check later. But yeah, a value as number is there to potentially help with that. Except that in this specific case, well, it should be 2, but it's not. But okay, let's go with event target value. Let's parse this. So if I'm gonna if I'm gonna add event target, oh yeah, because it's keep radix. Okay. Value doesn't exist on event target. Oh, because keyboard event. Okay. Now it won't show me again. I'm very sorry for all of that. I really wanted to use my ID, but reality decided that it's not the case, at least today. So I'm working with what I have, and I really didn't want to show like spending half an hour to set up everything correctly, because that's the chance. Also was the chance. But okay, so we are parsing value to number. Now, inner HTML contains of text. If we go with this and we put it here in the console, reading inner HTML. Result. No, it was result. Oh, it's null. Why is it null? here. Okay, that's interesting actually. Result is null, even though get element by ID, even though there is an element called result right here exists. I even see that the string is the correct one. Okay. So let's for a moment go with that. Let's go with let's go with that. I would every time I pass the number to the label at the input, the value inside value of that paragraph there will also change. At least it should, because I used inner HTML. And it changed. So that's fine. But now the thing is, if I would go with this, or rather it should work, but again, I believe there is a problem with code sandbox. And by the way, we don't have validation for letters, so I don't want to use letters. But there is also a thing, because this is string. So here I'm basically adding numbers to strings, which means that the end value will be, well, gibberish. So first I have to go with this. I don't need that much of this. And then I can set current value plus new value. Yeah, so every time I put a new number here, the value here, oh yeah, 2 plus 26, that's fine. Okay. We don't have validation for inputs that were already used. That's not important here. I just want to set multiple subscriptions for the events for the inputs. So basically every time one of those inputs change, I want to add another value to the result, basically. Or rather, at this point, I would, because I also was thinking about summing this up, but I'm not really sure how to even touch it. But okay. So basically, I need, if I understand correctly, I need now 4 subscribers, which seems like a waste because, yeah, oh, that's another thing, which I won't fix now because I'm not really interested in like I don't want it to work perfectly. I want it just to work. Like I want, as I said, I want I want subscribers to inputs and to sum up the results of those inputs. Okay. But the question is, can I subscribe to multiple inputs at once? And why I'm saying that? Because one of the ideas when it comes to events in JavaScript, at least on the browser side of things, is events delegation. So basically, I don't listen to key up on the input. I listen to key up in the entire form. And based on that, I act upon. Which might sound weird for people who never did that, but the reasoning is pretty simple. If you have 10 inputs, you would need 10 events. If you have one event for 10 inputs, you can always add a bunch of ifs to make sure that you check the correct input and be done with that. That is much better for the machine. That is much better performance-wise in the grand scheme of things. Because yeah, imagine 10 events per form, and then imagine 10 forms, which can happen. Or imagine, which is I think better example. Imagine a form with multiple elements that are added dynamically. So if you have that, and if you have now you have not only you have to not only add an input to the page, but also add and later remove event listeners, because there is a chance that that input will go out at some point, especially if you have like radio buttons that enable or disable parts of the form, etc., etc. So yeah, one event to rule them all, one event per form, for example, or even one event for the page. That's also possible. So I would say if this behavioral thingy, if this subject thingy wants to make any sense to me, it also should have the ability to have multiple subscriptions per one observer, or rather mass subscription to inputs, just like that. So let's check if that is even possible. I have my doubts, but let's see. Okay, so here's a tutorial, combine Rx combine latest. Okay. Let's see. And now that is a little bit worrying, I would say. Yeah, because I see multiple events here. That's not stellar. Not exactly what I wanted to see. Now, okay. Okay. That makes sense actually. This is what I was looking for. But the idea of having uh, four events actually in my specific case. I don't know about that, chief. But okay, let's try. Let's try to implement that one. So from event, okay, next key up. Okay, key up is fine. Okay. It will take a moment. I would try to have it as short as possible. So please bear with me for a moment. Let's input and and oh, I cannot. Oh, I can pass callback immediately. I don't have to. Oh, I don't have to subscribe. Okay. Okay. So I need that for multiple events actually. Okay. No, wait. This. So this is one. That's better. One. So I have 2, 3, 4 different inputs. And I also want to add start with, which is a parameter for the callback. Okay. Let's go with 0 or 2. From event. Oh wait, no. It should be here. Should it be here or not? From event, check parenthesis dot. Okay, it should be. I don't find name start with. Do I have to import it? Do I have to import it? From event fine. Oh, I have to. That's okay. That's actually not that bad. But okay. Do I have to use a variable here? Not really. There is no need for that. Okay, so I close this one. I close this one. Because yeah, this is the front event. This is the console log. All of that should work fine. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's another thing. Now I need to here. And this. Not the most elegant solution, but yeah. So okay, it closes as it should. Okay, so let's copy and paste it. Second, third. Okay. So do I have to start with observable void? Okay. So I have to pass. So I have to pass the type here. Okay. Do I have to do? No. No. So I guess I have to pass it here. Also no. Okay. From event. That isn't really helpful. I kind of hate libraries with a lot of types because when I see this, sometimes I have an idea what to do, but most of the time it's like, eh? So no. Let's see. Let's see what Google will tell me. I have to. I have to. 2 years ago, updated 4. Okay, so there might be some changes to all of this. That's not. Oh wait, the selector. Okay, that's okay. That's not the best. Let's see. Also not really. Okay. Let's just ignore TypeScript problems for now. Let's go with observable, but with resistant type. Observable void. So I have to. Oh, and I see that the convention is to add $1 at the end, so that's fine. Any. Or rather, no, number. Number or not? That's not it. Okay. This is getting out of hand a little bit. But this is also a pretty, I would say, normal experience with this sort of things. Because I'm now trying to do something that I know very little about, and because of that, I'm trying with everything in the vain hope that maybe I will find something. But yeah, I see. I need to use pipe, it seems. Okay. Okay. Can I use from event with pipe? I would assume I have to, but let's see. from event source pipe. Okay. So from event this. So pipe. Okay. Pipe. Start with. Okay. Do I have to have this? Oh, I would have to, because I have to store the value. Okay. 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 So let's remove all of this for now. Fine. All right. As you can see, this is from 4 years ago. This shouldn't be okay. It should be updated, but okay. Does it even work the same way? Let's see. Combine latest input value. And as a second argument, I go okay, so I should now see in the console the input value of the first one. It doesn't work anymore. Oh yeah, do I have to? Let's reload. It kind of is like working with the IDE, but I also have to reload the page from time to time. Which is on the IDE side of things to let the compiler or Webpack or something work their magic. Okay. Okay, there is something I still do wrong. Okay, the this result is not important for now. Something else is not working. I'm not sure what. This is fine, I think. Start with 0. Combine latest. Combine. I always move immediately to examples because in my experience, if you want to check how a piece of technology works, examples are the best. If you want to learn something more about them, then yeah, types and stuff like that. But at the very beginning, you need an example. If you have an example and you can read it and understand it, then the rest is much simpler. Which is why, for example, this I would say is not the best approach, because I want to know how combined latest work. Yes, I want to know how it works. So I have to now I extends read only unknown. That's not really helpful for a person that wants to learn about this stuff. The fact that it's a function, it helps a little bit. Stable also, but yeah, there is no parameters, overloads. I shouldn't think about overloads at the very beginning when I don't even understand what am I looking at. Yes, this shouldn't be there. Overloads should be much deeper in this. I know there is a separate page called learn a RxJS, but this is the official documentation of RxJS. And it looks like more like an internal paper, I would say, something that devs should know. But I am not a dev of this specific library. I am a single person that wants to know how this library even works. And for now, I don't know. And I need to dig in a little bit more in order to even understand that, which is why I'm not really a of this. But okay, let's go further. Basically, the only thing that okay, here is the first relevant piece of information that I need. We are more than halfway into the page, only to learn with graphics, which is fine, what all of this even is. Okay, first time bad typers. Okay, so I have to okay, let's see. So even it seems that at some point there was a bigger change to the way that this whole library works, which is fine, but as I said, I tried to use help tutorial from not that long ago, only 4 years, and yeah, as you can see, it works actually. Can I do? Wait, can I do this? What's gonna happen if I go with this? Okay, so I have this information here, but here is also still empty. So what's the correct way of doing this? Oh yeah, because this is two timer observables. Okay, but I put one here. First time timer time. Okay. So do I have to use another method here? Do I have to pass something here? Do I have to return something from here? Because I'm not really sure at this point. Yeah, this is what you get when you don't really read the documentation and just go blindly. It's like the oh, okay. So I was right actually. Okay, okay. So now returning any value from this callback method sounded for me like the most logical thing to do, which is why I did it. Oh, we are done. Okay. If zero. Okay. Yes, because I want to. Okay, I think it stopped working again. Yeah, it seems so. Okay, let's reload again. I mean, it's not as bad as I thought it would be, but as you can see, there is a limit, and we are not talking about. I mean, is Code Sandbox really that complicated? I'm thinking it's a pretty complicated because we are basically having an IDE in a browser. So having anything more complicated in a browser in and of itself is a challenge. But here, with the code and such, okay, I would say we have a pretty big thing going on here. Okay, does it work again? It works again. And no. It should work actually. Or does it? Oh, okay. I think I see. So let me double check. It's empty. It's just empty. Okay. If because value here is an empty string. If it's empty. Okay. Those little things. Yeah, that's working. Okay. Now, so it seems that I have to have 4 different event listen. That's the thing. normally I would say that's not a problem, but the moment when you have more than one input, like four, for example, you want to combine the results from them, it seems a little bit wasteful to go with four listeners. Like in the most basic example, I would have one and then just do and then have a listener. I mean, I will have that one listener. I would then check the values of those inputs that I will probably store somewhere beforehand, and then sum them up. That would be it. But okay, let's go. Okay, yeah, I can use that callback method. That's true. Uh, I can use probably I can reuse some of the code actually. But let's go with what I have here. The fact that I have to pass or four here, it's like it's not I would say the best idea here, but okay, let's go with that. Now I would have yes, I see four numbers now. So at this very moment I can just go with float. Yeah, I can use query selector, but I have element. I can just, I can just use that. Now, the value here is an array, which means that I combine latest? Can I map it in some way? The question. Can I map them in some way? Combine latest pipe and map. Okay, so I will have an array. Values reduce B yes no values is not combine latest pipe. That's another thing. This is a little bit different. How should I say? Way of doing things. Oh, and I see I have to import map from RxJS. That's that yet another thing. I would say it's not that bad. It's not like grading or anything, but I can see why people have problems with this type of. Okay. This is closed. It's closed, and this is. Da, da, da. Hmm. Okay. Let's see. Let's see what is happening here. Values reduce. AP. I closed. That's fine. Oh, okay. Okay, okay. Values reduce. It's not a number. It's no, that should work actually. Okay. So let's go as always with this because there is a good chance that I just made a little mistake with where I didn't want to. Okay, okay. But wait. Wait. If I remove this, I will have. First, I have to reload again because this is the point. Will that will that even work in the way that I think it should? And it's undefined at the very beginning. With this, it should be 0, but okay. Oh yeah. Let's ignore that for now. Okay, so here I have an array. Okay. Now this should return a proper value here. Okay. There is another problem here. This okay, parentheses. It's always parentheses. Okay, one is much. I guess I need to. Always little things like that. And now it works. I mean, it works. No, it works actually perfectly, I would even say. Yeah. Okay, so can I because I see 4 inputs with 4 events. That's not even the worst part. I can deal with that. But I see 4 repeated pieces of code. I should probably, in this specific case, use just a map or any other form of loop. Pass the IDs there and be done with it. And then we'll have one piece of code that does 4 things. So let's go with it. But no, that was for each. That has to be mapped. That's the thing. That has to be mapped. Yeah, I would see. Now all of those goes bye-bye. And here I pass this. And it should, in theory, still work as intended. Now, I don't know if the problem is that if the problem is with sandbox. Let's reload. There's a chance for that. But yeah, yeah, it seems that it can work that way. At least it should. I mean, in this specific case, I passed inputs and I return from event. It should work as intended, and it works as intended. At least there's that. Okay. So basically, I'm listening to key up events here. In the callback, I get an event and I can return something. So this is like the first line of verification or validation, or however you want to call it. I can basically create a value method that will listen to changes to the input and return, yeah, as I said, return proper value after that. And that's fine. It sounds like a way to do do validation on the level of component, but rather on the level of input. And that's fine. Or rather maybe on the level of service, because I'm assuming that those subjects won't really be available in the components, or at least or rather I'm assuming though they will be, but at some point they will be moved to the subjects or any other place to store those data, because let's be real here, putting Oh, no, wait. It's for the Angular, it can be that way, that you have listeners in components. Okay, why not? Yeah, so I can see it in a way that you create like a set of inputs, a set of fields. Then you pass only a callback with for validation or other form of verification that will check the value, pass the fixed value to the other parts of the system, and then you have combine latest, who will then take all of those fixed parts, all of those parsed elements, and will return a sum of them. That's basically it. Technically, I can do that also with event listeners, but now I wonder how much more work there would be, because for event listeners, I don't have start with, which means I would have to use something different. I would I would probably have to store all the four results somewhere. With every change to the input, I will have to change the value, change the const. Yeah, change the value variable stored somewhere, and then I will have to fire a method that will combine all of these and display on the page. While here, I'm basically reacting. I'm listening to the changes and I'm reacting to them, which is more or less, I mean, from the functional standpoint, from the standpoint of the end result, that is basically the same. Let's not kid ourselves. From the standpoint of me as a developer, I'm not sure. As I said, problem with these streams is that I always work with fairly small examples, because that's also easier to watch. Because let's be frank here, I can push. I mean, I can show much bigger piece of code and uh, analyze it, but that would be too hard to follow for everyone involved. So I would rather not do that. At the same time, this little piece of code probably could be called by someone as over-engineered, because let's be frank, we are now having 24 lines of, I mean 23, okay, 23 lines of code with pretty advanced tools, because let's be frank, listening to changes to the variables, I mean to the inputs, and then pass those changes to a method that will combine them and then result, etc., etc. There is, that's pretty complicated. You don't use it every day. You don't use it for every project, because there are projects that will just be inefficient, like completely inefficient and stuff like that. But in this specific case, so in this specific case, it doesn't really look like much when I can get the same results with much less effort. But I can imagine something like a form a form with multiple inputs, just like this one, and uh, mm, and maybe, let's say a lot of hidden and toggleable elements, toggleable elements that are possible to toggle. So, and in that specific case, I can see situation when user is clicking something, and that triggers the cascade of pipes and maps and observables, etc., etc., and the system does something. Yes, because if we go that way, then I don't really have to check that often whether or not a variable, rather, I would still have to check if I have a variable that is responsible for displaying and hiding parts of the form. I would have to check its value. But at the end of the day, I would check it in a very different way. I would check it in a, let's say, reactive way. Because that's another thing. In the, I would say, main paradigm for the JavaScript, which is not functional and not objective, or rather object-oriented, object-oriented programming, those two paradigms are important, but are not, let's say, at the top of the food chain. The top of the food chain is the imperative programming, which is basically a list of instructions. So in my specific case, it would be listen to the input one. If there are changes, parse the value, pass it to the method. That's gonna sum up. That's gonna combine the result. That method should check all of the variables and should sum them up and should display them on the table. Something like that. As I said, it's a set of instructions. It's a set of steps that the application has to do in order to achieve something. In this specific case, there is really not that much. I mean, okay, you can extract steps from every subscription, and you can say, okay, this is step one. I mean, when from event is a step one, then step two is the combined latest. Yes, because this is it's listening to the changes to the inputs, and so the inputs are like the first in line, and then you have last subscription that changes the value in the text field. I mean, in the paragraph. Okay. You can go with that, but in the specific case, you can't really say what the order is, or rather, you could say that the end result is text in the, I mean, number in the on the page, and you can list all the steps that would lead to that. But at the same time, with PubSub systems, the idea is that you don't really do that. No, with PubSub systems, the idea is that you subscribe to changes, to events, you name it, and then you react to that. So it's more like a set of mini instructions, I would say, a set of separate instructions that are triggered based on some circumstances, based on some actions or some events or whatever you want to do there or whatever you want to call it. So you don't really think about the whole procedure. You think about parts of this procedure, one part at a time. And you can always unsubscribe, subscribe to something else, go to another step, to something there. Meanwhile, when you have like instruction with steps, the only thing that you can do there is to rearrange, maybe remove part, add part, etc. But it's still one instruction. It's one set of things that the application should do because you ask it to do. Meanwhile, here, as I said, it's more like a set of smaller instructions that combined together indirectly because those instructions don't know about each other. It's like combinator knows only about inputs, but it doesn't know that there is a last instruction. Like you can subscribe to it, but it doesn't really understand what is happening there. Why? What is happening later with that? So yeah, in this specific case, you have a set of instructions. So that I see that as a plus when you have like a bigger form and you want to subscribe to changes to like one specific input, one specific value, and react to that. Like I don't know, when the value in the input is bigger than 12, show the information that we are sorry, this value is too big. We can still handle it, but there will be some complications, something like that. But again, that requires a little bit bigger application, which is, I guess, why Angular is considered an application for bigger I mean, application framework for bigger applications, because I guess it can scale that much, and I guess using subscribers don't uh, don't call parts of the system directly. Let's say makes the whole system more scalable, which means it's also easier to work with it when it comes to bigger applications. Yeah, yeah, I would say that's it. Okay, that was a little bit chaotic. I'm not gonna lie, but frankly, this is not the easiest tool to learn. It's also not the, I would say, most efficient when on this little scale. So there was some obstacles along the way by the very beginning. I would say the game was rigged from the start, considering all of that. But yeah, I think I can see uh, where to use all of that. I can see what are the uh, pros of using a tool like that. Because yeah, I can map four values from four different inputs and display the result, but I can also create a set of streams, pass it them to each other, do some subscriptions, and the system will basically do all of that, I would say. I mean, you know what I mean. So yeah, I think that would be it. Wasn't the most let's say eventful, no pun intended. But yeah, I can see the appeal point. I can see why people are using this. Yeah. Okay, I think that would be it for this little programming session. This was RxJS for beginners, such as myself. I still feel like a beginner after all of this, but maybe I will do some coding behind the scene. We'll see. But yeah, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed it, at least a little bit. And I see you guys, I see people, folks, mates. There was one other one, I forget. I will see you all around. So, ciao, ciao.